Hi everyone, this is my first concert report through a video. I really don't know what I'm doing, so please bear with me, and sorry if I seem really nervous. So I'm going to talk about the Miyavi shows at Avalon Hollywood and also the House of Blues in downtown Disney in Anaheim. Both of these were last week. This review is a little bit late, but I think it still holds true. I really wasn't expecting to see him twice in a single week, especially since, I'm not that big of a Miyavi fan. At least not anymore. I used to be a few years ago. I actually cried over him not performing at PMX when he was supposed to. Big cancellation things. I was actually pretty upset about it. But as time went on, I kind of fell out of like with him. And then I saw him again at J-Rock Revolution and, inspired me to start getting back into his music. Anyway, the first show was the House of Blues in downtown Disney. I drove up there after class, once I got out of my class that day, and I can't say that I really liked the area. I mean, downtown Disney's okay, like that part itself is alright, but the parking situation was annoying because you really didn't know exactly where you were going, and the guy at the gate wasn't very helpful. Anyway, I got there about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There was a bunch of people already outside there. Having been to a lot of concerts, I gotta say that, at least J-Rock concerts in Southern California and stuff, I'd say I recognize a majority of the people who show up to these shows, but I was actually really impressed by the fact that I really didn't know a lot of people there. It was kind of, definitely a different crowd, and I know that a lot of people flew in from around the country to come and see him. Anyway, so get there, it's all cool. They tell us that we need to actually be inside the House of Blues, buy something to get our ticket, waived and stuff like that, so we can get into the line for, get into the venue first. Really didn't help because there was already a bunch of people who had it, and, had their ticket signed and stuff like that, and I mean it was kind of useless. And can't say that the staff at the House of Blues, actually inside at the bar, were very helpful, or at least in the restaurant. They were actually pretty rude, and I didn't mind not giving a tip when I ate there, considering they literally forgot about our order for a good 10 minutes until I actually went and bothered them about it. Comparatively, the Avalon, I'd actually been there before. This was the show that was on Friday, and Avalon Hollywood was actually alright. I saw Dorian Gray there last year. I really don't know what else to say about it besides, the staff was generally pretty friendly, except of course the people at the bar who seem, I guess, it's going to be a bad trend if I start thinking that every guy that works at a bar or every girl who works at a bar is just a douche. So anyway, those were about the venues themselves. Parking at the Avalon wasn't too bad either. Just parked a couple blocks down, no problem. Didn't have to pay for anything. Let's see. As for, the set lists, I didn't write them down. I haven't looked them up. I gotta say though, it made me like the album that, the entire tour was based off of pretty, it made me like it a lot more, being able to listen to it and, kind of remember how it was. I was really glad that I went in that the showmanship that Miyavi, does, and how much it's not just a song here, a song there. It's not even an emotional experience, but it was fun and it was organized really well. You can see that there was a lot of care taken into the entire project, and I don't know, I like that about it. He comes out, fan, robe, flower petals get thrown, and immediately going into song. And of course the crowd loved it. At the House of Blues, I was all the way to the left-hand side. One of my friends was in front of me. Well, I'm sorry, Monica was in front of me, and had both hands on the bar, and was able to rock out from there. The crowds were generally pretty good. I like that, at least in comparison to how it was at J-Rock Revolution, when the crowds for Miyavi were pretty horrible. I'd have to say, from all the concerts I've been to, when I saw Miyavi at J-Rock Revolution, that would have been the worst. But It was actually pretty good. There wasn't that much shoving. I was actually able to leave where I was in the pit, go buy merchandise upstairs in the balcony area, and come back to exactly the same spot that it was before. So I was actually really, thankful that the people around me were cool enough to just let me back in. About the show itself, it was actually it was good because it was just fun, It wasn't like emotional, as I said, but it was just a lot of fun. Miyavi, of course, had to do his egotistical self stuff, which was, to be expected. Also, the Kabuki boys were pretty good. I liked their outfits. They all had their face painted. I went into the whole venue thinking, considering how it was a J-Rock Revolution, it's just going to be a bunch of this over and over and over again. And of course, it was that. I mean, that was to be expected, especially since, the DJ beatbox guy just kept going, what, over and over again. So, I mean, that kind of got annoying by, like, 3/4 into the show. But by the end of it, I was like, whatever, Major highlights was DJ Teddy Lloyd, who was awesome. I mean, besides him being really attractive and stuff, and being surprisingly 18 and pretty talented for his age, the music just loved the remixes and medleys that he did. It was probably, I don't know, it was probably longer than 5 minutes, but less than 10 minutes that he actually did a set and stuff, which is pretty cool. I don't know, it was a nice change of pace, especially since everything else had been kind of, rap-ish. I don't know, it was nice having, something to complement it, I guess. Miyavi's MCs were actually pretty cool. Between the Avalon and House of Blues, they were basically exactly the same, which, I mean, he didn't say very much, but it was alright. His English is pretty good, as much as he says that it's not. Pretty easy to understand, and it threw me off a little bit that he kept, saying things in Japanese randomly. I mean, I know he's gonna say that, but walking through the line before the show started, and just seeing who was in the crowd, there was very, very few Japanese fans, like, who I would say probably flew in from Japan. I mean, not enough to warrant speaking to the crowd in Japanese. So it kind of makes me curious as to what he's going to do for fans who, are in Brazil or, in other countries in South America where he's going to be performing. What else can I say? Comparatively, looking at the Avalon, the set list was almost exactly the same during that show as well. He said almost exactly the same thing through the MC. I was actually in a pretty good place for the Avalon. Also on the left hand side, I was able to go into this little raised area and actually look over the crowd, and not have to deal with any of the pushing and stuff. Teddy Lloyd's set was a little bit different. He actually put in Senorita. I don't know that one song. Goes to show that I'm not that big of a Miyavi fan. But anyway, I was able to buy merchandise on both days. So I have, let's see, one of the tour towels. This is pretty cool. And we also have the second tour towel. I bought this one on the second day. So they were about $15 each. And then I bought a t-shirt. Used the same logo and all of it, which is, I don't know. I mean, it worked and stuff, but I wish you would have mixed it up a little bit. Also, I bought a set of pins and a poster. The poster is, kind of the graphic that's on his MySpace and stuff. Either way, had a lot of fun. Had more fun than I was expecting, especially since I'm not a big Miyavi fan. And anyway, thanks for looking at my report.